Unknown man in a police uniform knocked on my neighbor's door. I was in my backyard and heard someone pull into my neighbor's driveway. I thought it was the wife. We were supposed to go shopping, so I climbed up on my fence to see when she wanted to go and realized it was a car I didn't recognize. It was an older silver car. I hoped down and was being nosy. I watched through a knothole as a guy in a police uniform knocked on their door. I realized he had a taser in his hand, but nothing else. He looked into their front windows and then went back to his car. During this, I texted them both telling them what was going on. The husband was on his way home and stopped by my house when he got home. He had video of the guy walking up to the door with a taser in his hand. He called the police and sheriff, who both confirmed that no one had reported going to that address. A sheriff deputy came out and looked at the video and took a statement from me. He said even if it was an officer serving papers, they would not do that in an unmarked car, and none of the local LE cars matched the description. The neighbors thought maybe their adult son had an warrant or something. But again, LE wouldn't show up in an unmarked vehicle for that in my area. I described the guy and told him he appeared to be wearing a police uniform, not a sheriff uniform. We don't have a police station in my town. The sheriff patrols my area. We have no idea who this guy is or why he was there, but it's making all of us very uncomfortable. I'm in my 50s now, and I finally told my sister why I was so overprotective when we were kids. I'm sure this happened in the mid-80s. I was 12, and my sister was 9. We walked home from school every day, a route we knew by heart. It's funny how a memory can stay so vivid for 40 years. But I can still feel the exact moment the hair on my arms stood up. We were about halfway home from school when I noticed an older man who was just repairing some shoes. I think that's the way he's earning money. On the side road. Now I know my sister was a very lively girl, and I'm not lying when I say she's the prettiest in their classroom and even in our block. I got the chills the moment he looked at my sister. It's a different kind of creeps. It's something that you will feel your hairs rising. When we walked past him, I became alert of what's happening behind us. And my guts never betrayed me. He started following us, keeping a consistent distance. My sister, being 9, was totally oblivious. She was just chatting away about her day, swinging her backpack, and I can't even scream. It's like I don't know how to talk when I'm full of stress and fear with the situation. I knew if we turned onto our street, which was quiet and lined with trees, that we'd be alone with him. Right before our turn, there was a small local restaurant. I didn't explain anything. I just grabbed my sister and pulled her inside. We didn't buy anything. I led her straight to the back, near the restrooms, and we just stood there in the narrow hallway. I remember my sister was confused and started complaining that she wanted to go home because she's hungry and wants to eat cookies that our mother promised to bake that day. But I just kept my hand on her shoulder and kept on gesturing to be quiet. I peeked through the side window. Maybe 30 seconds later, the man walked past. He stopped. He stood on the sidewalk looking up and down the road, looking genuinely frustrated that he'd lost sight of us. He lingered for what felt like an hour, but was probably only 2 minutes, before he finally gave up and kept walking. We waited a long time before I felt safe enough to leave. From that day on, I refused to take that route. I made us walk 2 blocks out of the way. And I never let her be more than an arm's length away from me. Last week we were talking about our childhood, and she asked me why I was always so bossy and paranoid about her leaving the house alone back then. When I finally told her the truth, the look on her face says she had no idea she was ever in danger. I'm 54 now, and I still think about that man. And I still feel the same chills every time we walk past H-Tat Route. A few weeks ago, a new guy moved into the apartment across from mine. Probably early 30s. Skinny, buzz cut, always wearing the same gray hoodie no matter how hot it was outside. At first, I didn't pay much attention to him. People move in all the time here. I started noticing weird little things, though. Sometimes he leaves his door cracked open. Not fully open, just enough to see the light inside. But it's always completely quiet in there. No TV, no music, no talking. And I've never seen anyone visit him. A few nights ago, I was taking my trash out around 1 a.m. and saw him standing in the hallway near his door, just standing there doing nothing. No phone, no headphones, nothing. He was staring down at the floor like he was waiting for something. I said, "Hey," when I walked past him, but he didn't react at all, didn't look up, didn't move, nothing. It honestly made me uncomfortable. The whole walk back to my apartment, I had this feeling he was watching me even though I never turned around to check. Then last night, something happened that really got to me. I woke up around 3 a.m. because I heard knocking. Really soft knocks. Slow and spaced apart. At first, I thought someone was knocking on my door, so I checked through the peephole, but the hallway was empty. I stood there for a few seconds trying to listen, and then I heard it again. Same slow knocking sound somewhere out in the hallway. I opened my door a little and looked outside. Nobody there. But his apartment door was open again. Wider than usual this time. The inside was completely dark and I couldn't see anything past the doorway. I didn't go near it, I just went back inside, locked my door, and sat awake in my living room for almost an hour. Today, his apartment has been completely silent. No footsteps, no door opening, nothing. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but something about this guy feels off. Like he's trying really hard to act normal without actually knowing how. I keep telling myself it's probably nothing. But I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right.